All right, so let's talk about Zeek. Um, Might as well get out here. All right, so the thing of the Zeek that I was telling people in the break, Zeek was originally called Bro. It was developed at Lawrence Livermore Labs in Berkeley, and it was a very powerful firewall slash intrusion detection system with a whole different philosophy. I mean, firewalls typically have static rules to block certain ports and stuff, at least the first generation did. And intrusion detection systems typically have a list of specific things they're looking for, like antivirus. But this was something to extend it to a whole new philosophy where you program your network defense to just look for patterns of your choice. And that's the goal. But originally it had no documentation at all. And they fixed it by making really good documentation. This is amazingly good documentation. It's a hands-on thing you can practice on, and you can even upload PCAPs and analyze your own traffic in the documentation. So you learn how to write this language that looks sort of like C or Python. There's a Zeek init, which is code it runs when you start Zeek, and Zeek done, which it runs when you leave. So you can run it. There should be a run button somewhere, which I am not seeing. Click run. Where's the run?
Down below.
Yeah, okay. Yes, hard scroll here. Here's the run. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either.
Yes,
It's
when you run it, there we are. And here it is. So there it is. Hello world, goodbye world. And here's the logs. Good. All right. So maybe I need to shrink my font or something. All right. So that's an example. And you can modify it. I can say goodbye world 2 and run that. Okay. And now it shows goodbye world 2. So that's the start. So this shows you the beginning. And there's a whole series of lessons here. You can load scripts. You can learn what functions it has, which are very simple. And you can go forward, have variables and data types and so on. It has all the stuff you'd find, arithmetic and everything. And then it has if-then statements and loops, all the stuff you want. And then you have exercises. And this exercise is just going to write a program that counts from 1 to 100 or something like that. That's basic coding. But then you're going to get to analyzing network traffic. So here's an event. You can have scheduled events or other events. You can hook them, make a set, make a table. But someplace in here, we're going to have network traffic. Here we are. Here's a list of subnets. And you're going to write a script that tests for the first 10 new connections and counts the connections and prints out the IP address for them. And so we can load the traffic sample exercise traffic.pcap. So there it is. Now I'm going to go forward to the solution for this one. Here's the solution. And so we can run it here. This is what it looks like. If less than 10 things have been connected, you can print that you found the connection. You define local subnets up here, and then you label things, whether they're inside or outside networks. So when you run this one, it's going to eventually add more stuff to the bottom of the page. Okay, it's giving me something to download. All right, I'll download it. Wants to open. Wait a minute, I did something wrong. There we are. Here it is. There we are. So here's the results. It analyzed the first 10 connections and it sorted them and told you whether they were inside or outside, that sort of thing. All right, and told you these IPs are considered external and so on. So it analyzed the traffic and found these out. And you can practice on the PCAPs they give you, or you can upload a PCAP. So you could use this to analyze real network traffic, which is amazing. And if you go ahead, there's more and more stuff here, and there's more hands-on stuff later on where you can do summary of the traffic on your network and so on. So I just have a series of flags you can turn in here where you learn these things, various levels of this, and get to see how to program this firewall. This is considered very powerful, Zeek, and you can learn how to do various things here. So check it out. This is in the spirit, I think, of DevOps. You know, there used to be the old system. If you read the book, The Phoenix Project, I'll just mention this. This is the greatest book to read. Every student should read this, and every teacher too, probably. I never understood DevOps until I read this book. There it is. It's a fiction novel that explains what it is. And the point is, the old IT model was you'd have an IT department that set up the servers and everything, and everybody else would have to go to the IT to get everything set up. And so the inevitable result is the IT department was overwhelmed. Nobody could get anything set up. People had to use broken machines because they couldn't get the attention to repair them. They would hire unauthorized cloud services and use third-party services without approval because they couldn't get anything through the overwhelmed um, ops team. And the solution is for everybody to be a programmer at your company. Everybody automates their own job, and everybody um, pays attention to what a mess they're creating for the next person in line so that things flow smoothly through. And in the same spirit, this is where you automate your firewall and write code to automate the tasks so your firewall will get smarter as you program it to solve problems automatically next time. And that is the modern way. Instead of having redundant tasks that you do, if something's redundant, you write a script to automate it. Anyway, so check that out. Zeek is important. You can go through this hands-on training, and then you can install it locally if you like and see it go on one of your machines. So that's worth checking out. I'm going to stop this recording. If I can find the button.